I'm going to go to the class. I'll take any one of them. And if you go here, basically what I want you to be aware of is, of course, we have the syllabus online. And if you go to modules, you will see that I should have taken the student values. I have these files, which I'm going to be discussing also in today's lab. And this is the Zoom session that I sent that email about, that this is what you should use in order to connect. And I think that's going to be the same link also. There's going to be some exercises I want you to be able to do before next Tuesday's lecture. And for that, you'll go to MATLAB Online. I'm going to try it here so that you see what I'm talking about. When you click on that, you will get to MATLAB Online. And as long as you have, today we'll be doing that also in the lab, as long as you have your MATLAB account set up, remember it's the account for which you had the extension .csus.edu. You click on Start MATLAB on RAMP. I'm going to go to mine. So you're going to sign in with your account. And when you go there, of course, you will see, oh no, I don't want online. When you go here, we did this in the class the last time, you will see the desktop, the MATLAB desktop. Remember the last class I was having problems making the screen larger, but this is on the web. So we'll be doing the same thing today. And if I just hit the Control+, that was what I was trying to do the last time. I'm mixing it up with the desktop edition. Then if you want to expand your screen, you just use Control+. I am now also going to go to, if I go back to this modules page, you will see what I've set up is homework 1. So if you click on this screen, you will see here I said to complete the following sessions in MATLAB fundamentals before next Tuesday's lecture. How do you get there? As long as you have your MATLAB account, if you're logged in once, that should do it. If I click on this link that says MATLAB Academy, for me, I have quite a few activities I participate in, but for you guys, resume. So everybody should be able to do this by next Tuesday. You'll be the first time. So you'll be launching MATLAB fundamentals. And if you wanted to practice with MATLAB on RAMP, I don't use the MATLAB on RAMP because it is too short and too brief, and I assume that the student has had some advanced level programming. But for me, I just go to resume fundamentals. As I say, I've done 100%, I reset it, so I want to go at the same pace that you guys will be going. That homework that I have assigned, I'll be discussing it in the lab today also. I mean, what we did on Tuesday's lab, I'll be doing today, so nobody will be lost. I've done quite a few examples. What I ask you to do is actually going over one more time the information that I've covered in the lab, and also in the lectures. I will continue doing this. I'll just click on, say, entering commands. What you have to do is just practicing solving problems. For example, it gives you task 1 and it's saying, do you know how to multiply 2 numbers? So by the end of today's lab, the Thursday students will also know how to do this. You guys that were in Tuesday, we did things like this. So I wanted you to go through these examples. For example, it says, can you multiply 6 by 7? And all the student will be doing is typing 6 star 7. And yeah, you are correct. Go to the next task. So it is one more time trying to review what I'll be doing in the class just to reinforce this, because things are going to get a little bit detailed or too detailed later on, and you may have to go back to these. So I want you to go, I'll go to the next task. Once you are finished, you press the escape key. It takes you to the next task. And it says, now, can you assign that 6 times 7 to M? And it explains up here how you will do it, because you see the default here, when I just said 6 star 7, it just gave me answer equals 42. So when you do not assign these expressions to a variable, then MATLAB uses its default response, ANS. So now it asks you to assign that expression to a variable name, and it tells you explicitly you should use the variable name M. So the next time I'll just say, oh, you want me to do M equals 6-7. If you make a mistake, of course, it will say this is correct. Then you say that it's not difficult to do. So if I go to the next one, so this is what I want you to go through. I have like about chapter 1 and chapter 2 examples online. It doesn't go with chapters in the text that I have recommended. But suppose here the author says enter M equals M plus 1. And for some reason, I type M equals, and I mistakenly type N plus 1 on the keyboard, and I hit enter, then it will tell me that I've made an error. If you are not sure, sometimes so it says press the escape key and try it again. If you are not, you've done this maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe it's a particular example, and you're getting confused, you can either ask for a hint or you can say see solution. Avoid doing the C solution until at least you've attempted it and you're stuck. Otherwise, you will not be learning much. So anyway, I'll get out of that's the homework. If you go to your discussion link on Canvas, if you go there later, what I'm trying to do, some students may have questions concerning the lab or the homework assignment. For example, at the end of last lecture, a few students were asking questions. And so I just created this in the discussion link. And if you can't see it, I'll try to make sure that it is released for you. So somebody asked, which lecture or lab should I attend? And I just went and grabbed a copy of maybe what a typical schedule would look like. If you look at your schedule on SACLink, I believe it is. So if your schedule says ME 105, for example, this is section 7, this is section 1, and it says basically that if you are in section 7, you have to be doing a web online on Tuesday, and you should be in class on Thursday for both lecture and lab. I did the same thing for the students that are in section 1 and 2. I sent, so if I think click on discussion, you will see this. That if you want to know which lab you should be in, if this says section 1, and this of course would say section 2, that means section 1, you have to be in class in the lecture, in the lab, in the Riverside 4001 and the lab. On Thursday, you can go online like you're doing today. Some students asked whether they could come into the class. I said, yeah, feel free to come. If you prefer to always come to the lectures in class, then as long as there are seats, you should be able to attend the lectures. And as I said, I'll use Zoom, and I should have a recording at the end of this session because it's saying it's recording that I can post. So if for some reason you couldn't attend the lecture live, then what you can do is look at it. I'll try to post it so you can see, you can also have a chance to view the information. Now, another person said that they couldn't log into the grader. They'll be doing it during the class today. To log into the MATLAB grader, you have to have the MATLAB account. As long as you have that. So if I go to the MATLAB grader, I'll just close some of these. So I will just type grader.mathworks. And so grader.mathworks.com. So if you go there, as long as you're logged in once, it should take you there. For you, for the Tuesday students, this is what you were doing in the lab last class, so you should be able to get here. I sent an invitation to you guys. You should have received an invitation that you will click that enrolls you into this course. And then the students that are in section 7, this today will be going through this during the lab. But after you finish the lab, you have till next Tuesday, ask questions. I think most people, I looked at the results, quite a few people had finished about 3/4 of the lab already, and they were just working on the last portion. So if you have questions, I will say you can just go to additional questions. There are two ways you can do it. You can send me an email, but sometimes I don't get to the emails on time. Or what you can do is you can go to a discussion link, and I'll put one up for, say, week 1 assignment, and you can ask any questions there, not only to me, but to the whole class. So I'm saying here, if I'm going to be creating like discussion links, so I can come here just like I did this one. I can go at the end of today, I'll add a new discussion, and that will be called, for example, assignment 1. I'm not going to save this right now, but just so you know what to expect, assignment 1, and I will just say something like, please post your questions here. And the whole class will get to see it. So somebody else can respond ahead of time, or I can respond. Hopefully this will help us